America is crumbling, and it's not from outside threats. It's not from bad policies. It's from the fact that we forgot who is supposed to be in charge of the country. 1776, 249 years ago, almost to the date, is when we set this country apart right here. We made it ours. We made it a country, a land that is led by the people. But 249 years later, to where we are now, we have completely lost that principle. And this video's gonna be fired up. It's gonna get me a little, more flamboyant than usual, a little more emotional, but that's just because I care so much. I want to fix things, and the only way I know how to fix things is by using my voice. So this might be off brand for the channel here, but it's because I care and I want to help people. So it is self-help in essence. We have forgot as a country that politicians work for us. For some reason now, we work for them. It has gotten flipped so much where we just get these people elected. We fight for them. They get elected. They do us dirty. They disregard our feelings, our interests, our care. And then we still have to defend them and fight for them because politics has become so identity-based and divisive. I can break it down for you. Any party, any politician, whatever. Like that way we can bridge this because like I said, it's so dear to me because I want a united country. I want it to be the United States of America where we are all one big family rooting for each other with the best interests at heart. And I feel like we've lost that so much now because like I said, the identity politics separate us so much because if you are a Democrat, if you're a Republican, if you're a Biden voter, if you're a Kamala voter, if you're a Trump voter, if you're whatever other Republican candidate voter, you are so stuck with that and so stuck in that way that you have to defend that person. And that just seemingly allows this division to grow deeper, but then allows these politicians to get away with just being awful people who just get elected and then just disregard everything. They forget it all. Like we are living in a world where it genuinely seems like a movie. 2020, Joe Biden won the presidency. Okay, Joe Biden, this is no bias, this is no hate, no disrespect. Joe Biden genuinely finished his term barely competent at all, barely coherent, at least to a level where it should not even be close to being able to run what is supposed to be the strongest nation in the world. But because politics are so identity-based and so divisive, and because it's become such a thing where we have to work for them, Democrat voters, a lot of them who voted for Biden, could not just admit that things were going wrong. And to the detriment of the country, to the detriment of the direction that we wanted to go, they were willing to stand by him and stick by him because to them, that was their guy. They got him there and they had to root for him because Republicans, they're dumb. They're racist. They're this. And that's what I'm saying. It's the identity right here. It's like two sides that now view each other as such polar opposites in the negative directions that now you have to vouch for whoever your candidate is because if you don't, then the other side's winning. But there should be no winning and losing because that's not what matters. What matters is the direction of the country and how our families are doing and how our fellow citizens are doing as a nation. You can look at it now, currently. Like this is something that's so. This is what really fires me up here. Is like you look at Trump. He's currently in office right now. He made plenty of promises. Now, whether you love Trump, whether you hate Trump, because obviously he can be a polarizing figure, he made promises that got him elected. At least his administration did. They talked about things like the Epstein files. That's a very big thing now. They talked about dropping prices and all these things they were going to do that were going to benefit the nation, benefit the country. And ultimately he won because the voters bought into that idea of America. They bought into that dream of America and that vision. But now fast forward, he's been in office for 6 months, and the Epstein files he's saying never even existed. Like these politicians have gotten away with so much. And the Trump voters, a lot of them, obviously not all of them, same with the Biden. Obviously some Biden voters could admit that, he had lost it. But a lot of Trump voters right now cannot admit that he has lied to his audience. He has lied to the people of America. He has lied to his voters. And if you circle back, I think it truly is because the American politicians no longer care for us. They don't work for us anymore. We work for them, and they work for their special interests, their donors, and working for these foreign nations. And that is right there is what all that matters to people is that, we stand power, we keep our money. And I'm telling you, like, these people, they make me sick now. Like they really do. A lot of them. Obviously, it's not all of them. I do believe there's some politicians out there who probably have a good heart and mean well, but a lot of them just genuinely irritate me so much because it's like our country deserves so much more. We're meant for so much more. It shouldn't be a world where it's hard to have a family and owning a house. And like I said, like you guys know me, I'm 20 years old. I'm in the demographic where you hear that stat a lot where it's like Generation Z is going to struggle to be able to own a house, and have a family. And obviously these are all goals that I really have that I want as fast as possible. And to think that it's like the people that are leading this country are supposed to do everything they can in their power to help us. And it seems now in my life at 2025, all they have done recently is hurt us and set us back by dragging us into foreign wars, by disregarding what the public wants. This is a full-on unifying issue between Democrats and Republicans that they do whatever it takes to get in office. They get there and they don't care about us. They ditch us. It doesn't matter. It's simply get in office, hold your power, do whatever you can, and they always somehow leave office with more money than their salary would tell you they're going to get. And that right there asks it just adds so many questions to what's going on and what's at play. But I truly just believe like we are dealing with a rotting cesspool of people who are constantly trying to make us fight. I'm telling you right now, you can call me a conspiracy theorist, you can call me crazy, you can click off and think I'm stupid. But a lot of the division in this country right now is started by the people at the top. Like I feel like if you think about how connected this is right here, where I made a video recently talking about how critical thinking and free thinking is basically gone. I listed a bunch of stats that just talked about how insane and influential algorithms were in controlling your thoughts and making your thoughts and engineering your thoughts that you would naturally come to. And if you look at that right there, it's like who did Trump partner with in his campaign? Elon Musk. What does Elon Musk own? X, Twitter, one of the biggest social media platforms and one of the biggest news platforms in all the world. But if you look at the Democrats and the DNC and Biden during his presidency, we know that they were on the phone talking with Mark Zuckerberg, the owner of Facebook and Instagram. Once again, one of the biggest social media sites that is huge with how people consume their news. So we look at this, it's like these politicians don't care about us, but simply care about serving these people that are paying them money and paying them off. They are now able to also access the algorithms that give us the information that we then believe to be truth. And the algorithms don't care about if it's right, if it's ethical, if it's going to help people live a happier, more fulfilling life. They don't care about that. It just cares about keeping you on the platform and pushing the agenda that is what they want to get going on. So for me, it's like I look at things like culture wars and gender wars, black, white, women, men, anything you can name on that are kind of key to how our society runs right now. I truly believe so many of these divisive topics are propagated by our own people that are leading us. The people who are supposed to be making us come together as a nation and be able to prosper together for the future of us, our kids, our grandkids, are selling us out and then creating wars between us. That way we can never actually see what's going on. We can never see behind the curtain because we're fighting. We are in a huge brawl, and they're behind that curtain just laughing, having a great time. And I think it just makes me so frustrated too, because to the length that they don't care about us. Like I said, like this video can ruffle some feathers because a lot of people that are so tunnel visioned in to just point things out makes them mad, triggers that part in their brain where they want to hit you with the whataboutism. If you bring up an issue Republicans have, Epstein files, then the Republicans want to bring back some issue about what the Democrats did. Same thing, if you bring up something the Democrats did, they want to bring up something the Republicans did. And it's just constant fighting. People at the top, they love that right there. Because it's like how prison is, okay? If you have a huge prison with all these prisoners and only a few wardens, if all the prisoners rose up together, they could probably revolt and change the system and change the prison and maybe even take control. But if the wardens just make people fight over, you're this race, you're in here for this, you're doing this, whatever, then they don't have to ever worry about being overthrown because the people, they're fighting on a lower level. They're fighting each other. Not who's actually the one controlling them and actually running the whole show. Is these people make us fight, make us hate each other, make us view each other as different, as opposite, and all these things. When in reality, we are all struggling with the same things. Minus that like 2% people, 98% of us all have the same issues. The core issues that we can all agree on and share upon that we should be working to fix and not being afraid to have conversations that could be tough. And like these people, like I said, they don't care about us and they laugh in our face almost. And to get back to that point that I was saying before I kind of ran off on that tangent was how, look at 2020, 2021, COVID, okay? I remember this vividly. The Denver mayor was saying how you can't go home to your family for Thanksgiving because of the spread of COVID. And then this same guy is seen, I believe, at the airport, or I could be wrong here. He is then seen leaving to go to his family for Thanksgiving. It's like these people are supposed to work for us. They're supposed to be almost like public figures, public servants to work for us because we've elected them and given them this opportunity to make things better. And they just laugh at us. They think they're so far above us and we're down here and we're basically peons or peasants serving them. And we become the serfs now. We're supposed to all be equal, we're supposed to be all equal rights in one country unified together. But now there's people at the top that are just constantly laughing at us. Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter. They have meetings and they shake hands and they laugh and they have good times. And meanwhile, we have people that are suffering the same issues. You can have people living in two low-income neighborhoods, one Democrat, one Republican, both struggling to pay rent, to pay the mortgage, to pay grocery bills, all these things because of the issues that these leaders have given us, and they're hating each other because so-and-so has a Trump sign in the front yard, or so-and-so has a Kamala sign in the front yard. When it's like these people at the top, we're shilling for them, we're fighting for them, we're working for them, when they could not care less about us. And they don't care about the struggle, they don't care about any of it because they don't relate to us at all either. There's just no checks and balances at all. Because we don't have the ability to check and balance them anymore because that whole beast of the government has grown so big and so large and so unregulated that we just lost touch. And we can't stop them unless we start to realize this and wake up. That's my message to you and to me and to everybody in this country is just to wake up, please, because like we can live in a good world, a peaceful world, where we can all, live a version of the dream that we have, the American dream, a fulfilled life, a family, a job, a goal, a dream, an aspiration. And that's what makes us American right there, is the ability to go get after that and make that happen. But the leaders that we are electing with our vote, that is our freedom, that is our gift given to us by the people that set this country up 249 years ago with the idea to get us to this point, we should not be losing that gift, and definitely not be giving that gift away to people who couldn't care less about us and which want to trash us and use us as a stepping stone, because we are a ladder to these people. We are just a simple way for these leaders to constantly get up to the next level. I'm gonna talk locally, and then you're gonna show for me. I'm gonna get to the regional level. You're gonna show for me, and I'm gonna run for presidency, and then you're gonna show for me even harder. I'm gonna make you these promises, and once I get there, I'm gonna act like I don't know you. Like I was saying about how the people in the government don't actually hate each other. They don't disrespect each other to the level that we do as the voters, as the fellow citizens. Because you look at someone like George Bush, who in 2004 and that whole era of his presidency was looked at as someone who was disliked by Democrats, by the DNC, by all the voters. But now in 2024, because of Trump, because of how the media can just control how we view things, now he's accepted. He can go sit with Biden and Obama and all these other Democratic figures, and they can, shake his hand and laugh and smile with him. It doesn't matter anymore. We know we're not really enemies anymore. And to me, what it just seems like always is it's like a sports game. I watch the Ravens. I'm a big Ravens fan, huge sports fan. But it's like Ravens Steelers, they play each other. They have this so-on rivalry, okay? They hate each other. It's a big game. We're going back and forth. It means so much. And then as soon as the game's over, jersey swap. Let me grab your jersey real quick. I'll sign it, take a picture with you. We'll shake hands. We'll laugh. We'll smile. And at the end of the day, for them, it doesn't matter who wins or loses. Even the guys who lose are over here smiling and having a good time. And to me, that is how our political landscape is now. Because to them, it's like Democrat or Republican, win, lose, or draw. We're shaking hands. We're smiling. And key is we're laughing to the bank at the expense of all of us, people who are actually struggling and suffering and going through these hard times. And I think it's like no matter what it is, people cannot have conversations. They cannot just have open ears, open minds, and they can't just see this because they're so stuck fighting each other. And it's just the culture is so deep rooted in that now too. And like I said, the algorithms push this. Look at someone like Dean Withers. Look at someone like Charlie Kirk. They are both the different generation version of debate bros. I'm going to go get someone uninformed, uneducated, or unprepared, or any of those three right there. Stick them on a stage, talk to them, use my constant speaking points that I already know, ask a bunch of rhetorical questions, get you stuck in a hypothetical that sounds dumb, it doesn't really make sense, that somehow also kind of applies to your logic to then make you have to agree or disagree, that then breaks it by pointing out a fallacy in your logic, but that doesn't actually matter because it's not what you said in the first place. It's just a weird altered version to make them sound right to their mindless viewers who agree with anything they say and wait for those gotcha moments 24/7. And that's just how things are right here. It's like, can I get one over you? Can I get a gotcha moment? And can I serve this beast that is the government to hopefully one day get a piece of this cake that is being eaten, like I said, over and over again at our expense? So if my message to you, my message to everyone is just for us to please wake up and unify and start to realize that the American dream can still be had. The American dream can still become alive. But we just have to wake it up first because it is asleep, but it has been given NyQuil and Benadryl by these so-called leaders and politicians who are supposed to be working for us, but don't do it anymore and don't care about us because they just do us as leverage to get power and leverage to get access to rooms of money, status, wealth, power, you name it. That's my long rant right there. It's kind of rambly because, like I said, I don't script these videos. I just talk off the dome. I try to keep it as real as possible, things that I actually care about. But I am Astan. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gave you a perspective that can maybe wake things up and get us back on the same page together. Because I care about every single one of you. I care about all my fellow humans out here because we got one chance, and I think we all have the right and the blessing to live this one life as best as possible that God has given us. I love every single one of you guys. If you enjoyed the video, drop me a like, and it would mean so much to me as well if you could give me a subscribe because we're trying to hit 500 by the end of July, and we are at 384 right now. Who would have thought? Living the dream out here, guys. I'll see you.